Hello, y'all. First of all, I just want to apologize for yesterday and taking down yesterday's reading. I just felt like it just delivered really meh. Like it was really lackluster, and I saw like followers just dropping off from it. I was like, what is going on? And I really felt like I could probably do a lot more for that particular reading. And so last night I actually went in and I like channeled messages for each group while listening to music. And I decided today I would give you a little bit more to choose from so that you are choosing the correct pile for you, and that this is all kind of, you know, in alignment with your connection, because I decided that we're going to just call this the truth of your connection. While I am not ever going to be in a space that coddles toxic relationship culture, I will never be that reader here on YouTube. I think there's plenty of tarot content on this platform if you are looking to, be spoken to in a certain way, or you don't want to learn about how to, develop your own self-worth so that you're not connecting into attaching to emotionally unavailable situations or sacrificing yourself, then you are in the wrong place. And that's that. There's no way to slice that. However, if you want to come into a connection and really discuss what's going on underneath the surface and what is, pushing and pulling within the dynamics of these connections, then you are in the right place. So with that being said, that's sort of the disclaimer on how I read as a reader. Here are your groups to choose from. For group one, you have the King of Swords, a feather, and this red crystal here. For group two, you have the Four of Pentacles and the amethyst. Look at me. I know the name of a crystal. High five. It's kind of funny because my name is Crystal and I'm not really good at crystals. And then in the group three space, you have these beads here, the sun, as well as this blue crystal here. So if anyone feels the need to name the crystals that I did not name, feel free to do so in the comment section. Yeah, those are your groups to choose from. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out so we can have a better playing ground for reading. And we're going to go ahead and dive into this, the truth of your connection read. Group one. Hello, group one. If you chose this red crystal here, this is your reading. Or if you chose this feather, or if you were here for the daddy of communication, the King of Swords. If you were here for the King of Swords, why does swords sound like such a weird word right now? You ever have that moment where you've said a word probably a million times in your lifetime, and then you say it and suddenly it just sounds weird to you? I just had that with this King of Swords. All right, so what we're going to do here is the very first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to read the channeled messages that came in for your reading. So what I did last night was I sat down, got my journal out, and I pulled on some music and I listened, and just whatever was coming up in that space for your group based on your card was the message, I suppose, that was intended for you. What I did was I chose song lyrics as opposed to naming the song, and I realized this morning that I did not place a name on these songs, and I was like, ooh, that was a big mistake. But anyway, we have the lyrics here. So the first thing that came out, honestly, was actually I wrote this first, which was group one, King of Swords, King of Communication. Okay. Now, up here in this space is sort of what's being delivered to you. And then down here is kind of what is being delivered from your person. And then it goes back into a message from spirit. I will say that the way that the messages were delivered in your particular group was very cutthroat in terms of, not cutthroat in the messages, but how it was delivered. There's a few swear words in here, and it's very like to the point and telling you what it is that's going on. And the messages from your person are a little less that way. They're a lot softer, but the messages from spirit and the messages coming in that channeled here are very kind of conducive with somebody who maybe needs things said a certain way for them to really be like, okay, all right, okay, I hear you, you know. So the first lyrics that came in is, what you waiting for? You're still a super hot female. This was lyrics from No Doubt. And the overall message for you was in something that has to do with imposter syndrome or some sort of dysphoria around self-awareness, or both, that is existing in this space for you, and what's the disconnect that is existing within this connection for what's going on within you, the viewer. So here's the message that came through to you. Listen, babe, get the fuck out of your head. Get present with yourself. This thing you are avoiding doing the work on is always at the forefront of your mind. You got this head on overload. It was a lyric that came in by Fifth Harmony. He's in the dark. This is your battle, and if you do not get a grip on it, it will penetrate this space like an infectious disease or the vines of a poisonous plant wrapping and trapping you. Get fucking busy. So this message here was an indication that there's something that you're relatively aware that you need to work on and perhaps have been avoiding, or maybe it's just something that is constantly comes up in this space as an insecurity or a space of disconnect or a place of concern when it comes to connections in particular and your role within connections, and particularly in how you feel about yourself. This is a space of a little bit of self-doubt here that's existing for you, group one. And it's really in alignment with not feeling enough. And then you have the channeled message coming in from, I put from him, but this is obviously not gender specific. This is just from your person. Immediately when I popped into this, the message from your person, I put Q Fantasy by Mariah Carey, because the part that I was like, talking sweet and looking fine. Oh baby, I'm so into you, darling. If you only knew. There's something about you. Here's his or her message. You're kind, selfless, caring, a great listener, patient, present, comforting, and sexy as hell. I can sense your nerves. I don't know why, but it makes you even more attractive. I can picture us dancing in the kitchen and you cooking. Oh my God, mama, feed me. Is it weird? I feel like I could start a family with you. But it does feel out of my reach. No, fuck that. I can have whatever I want. So I feel like your person is battling with themselves a little bit. You make me want to run and stay and run right to you. Man, it's confusing, but fuck, I trust you. You restore my faith. I thought I'd never meet someone like you. I understand the situation is not what we expected. I did not expect this. Please get out of your head. Just trust yourself and calm down. So yeah, the person, I don't feel like this is something that maybe has been expressed to you, but this is sort of their internal dialogue. I do feel like your person is a bit in a conflicting space within this connection. And we'll dive into why. Back to you. This is channeled from Spirit. The song Try by Pink came in, so you got to get up and try. Babe, take a break and focus. You're afraid, fearful in this space, feeling uncertain and confused. It's self-doubt, babe. That's all. Believe in yourself. You can defeat this. Get up and try. Much love. Your guides. So that is the messages that came in for you. If you want, you can kind of like replay that because I know that's relatively meaty. That was a lot to unpack. What we're going to do first actually is go ahead and grab you some energy cards for this space. Oops, my energy cards are not right here. I have been really into lately the Wisdom Oracle energy. I just feel like it's softer. It's a little bit delivered from a space that I like it better than, say, like the Wild Unknown archetype. These like circular cards here. And I used those yesterday when I tried to record this reading. Well, actually, I did record it and posted it, and it was a flop. But I don't know. I'm not connecting right now with that deck. This one, however, I'm very connected to. I think the energy that's coming into this particular deck is very fair. And I'm really liking how it's delivered for you. So we'll get a couple cards just to kind of decipher the energy. Not for you, by the book, as well as higher power in reverse. You know what? I don't actually want to, I don't know if I want to take reversals. I didn't give you a fair advantage. So we're going to go, hold on, actually, let me feel it out. Oh, it's absolutely in the upright. Okay. That energy hit was there. Can you clarify this not for you? I feel like it's an anxiety thing. That didn't clarify that at all. Let me use a standard tarot here to clarify. Ooh, stuff. What just fell out of your deck? Why and enchanting gifts also fell out. Soulmates on the bottom of the deck. I'm going to argue that this not for you is essentially it's like self-sabotaging, honestly, because everything else kind of doesn't align with that. But I want to be certain that this isn't, you know, too good to be true too. I want to be honest in this space with you. So I'm going to clarify these cards right here just really quick, just to be sure that I'm not in a space of, ooh, Emperor came out. I mean, that's kind of promising. We're only going to take reversals. I'm sorry, uprights in this space because I haven't even bothered to put all these cards in the upright right now. And so then you have the Wheel of Fortune. So I do feel like this space over here that's not for you is sort of what's going on within that self-doubt. It's like, no, this can't be. It's kind of convincing yourself, honestly, that a situation or something is not for you. It's like, no, this isn't gonna work, and really kind of that was weird, y'all. Okay, sorry. I have this basket of cards over here, and I just put these in, and the deck of cards back there just shifted by itself. Anyway. Yeah, so anyway, I'm sorry. That was just that, like, squirrel. So in this space over here, yeah, I do feel like it's a bit of just self-doubt. It's being convinced that this thing is not going to work for any number of reasons, for something kind of getting in the way of this connection. However, it seems like things are intended to be by the book. And when by the book comes out for me, I do feel like that's a traditional space. Because you have the masculine energy at the front of the line leading, followed by the feminine, and then followed by the children behind that. And in my opinion, that is a very healthy space. I know that's not the same. I know that doesn't work for all people and the dynamics of every relationship, but I am going to argue that in your relationship, it is the masculine energy that is intended to lead in this space and is at the front of the line in terms of guiding in that. And that is how it is supposed to work best in this space. What I feel like is getting in the way of that a little bit, of the by the book thing, is is a little bit of anxiety, but it's really a space of not trusting self. And then over here, you have some sort of hit that this is divinely guided. If you have been in a space of really working on understanding how to operate in a more healthy space, how to hold space for self, and how to not be in a position where you're sacrificing yourself for others, this could be something that is divinely guided. It's almost like this why is coming in as like a purpose space rather than like, why is this happening? Why is this presented to me? It is saying like, this is the why. The why is that this has been a space of like divine intervention, that you have been brought into one another's life for a purpose. And you do have a sense of a bit of a soul contract in this space. Now, it's interesting because the skeptic in me, and not that I want to be a skeptic in your connection here, but the skeptic in me does understand that oftentimes that we are tapping into these tarot readings is a space of no contact. So we're going to get into that. I don't know if that really exists in this space or if you're just trying to gather information. But in no contact situations, I do think that I want to provide you a disclaimer to be very mindful of the energy that you feel within those spaces. If you're dealing with somebody who's non-communicative, then I don't always know that that's the best place for you to be in. So this connection, I feel like, though, would feel like a soulmate connection. And I do feel like the anxiety that exists in this group and in this connection has a lot more to do with our self-doubt than it does with the experiences outside of the connection, because there is so much like around here that actually is very positive. You have yin, enchanting gifts, and by the book, which I find are very positive energies to have within a connection. So really, I feel like this is a space of where anxiety maybe once used to be like in an anxious space because of non-communication or things not really being in our favor or not really seeming healthy or to go a certain way. That is not existing in this space. So it's kind of being in the opposite reality, and then being nervous because it's not falling into alignment of what we most anticipate or what we're most used to experiencing. And so it's kind of tripping us up. Okay. Or tripping you up, I should say. So let's go ahead and dive into the truth of this connection. With the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands coming out, so there could be a lot of desire. Like, could have a bit of sexual chemistry in this connection. I would be really careful of connections that have more sexual chemistry than they do communication, though. Just a heads up, depending on... I know that not all people who are tapping into this space are going to align with that, but there are some people that really do tap into tarot readings because they want to hear the opposite of the truth delivered to them. And so I kind of have to be mindful of that throughout these readings. On the bottom of the deck, you do have the Ten of Cups. This is a really fulfilling space. Okay, what's going on? The truth of this connection here for group 1. Seven of Cups. The Hermit. I feel like this could be your energy. Actually, I do feel like a little bit this is like a... Hold on, we'll get into it. Let me get one more. I'm just going to go with that Ace of Pentacles here. Bottom of the deck, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to put that up there. I'm really quick actually going to clarify these cards. And today I'm going to clarify, I think we'll clarify with the Light Seers. It's a bit more positive of a deck. I should have had this ready, but I thought I was going to clarify with the Raven's Tarot. The Raven's Tarot is a lot more like cutthroat. Um, let's see. What I was going to say, though, before we pull out the Light Seer's Tarot, was that this feels a little bit of the teetering within you on how you're viewing this connection. It's like kind of bringing you... so this area here, over here, like the Hermit, the Seven of Cups, and the Chariot, is sort of the ebb and flow of your emotions on like, I gotta go in, I gotta come out, I gotta go in, I gotta come out. I think you're very used to being a chaser. And I feel like this dynamic is really, this connection is testing that in you. Because why? Because in this connection, it is actually the masculine energy that is doing the pursuing. And I just want to put that I just heard, like, as it should be. Like, you really do believe in by the book to this space. Okay, so here we have the King of Pentacles, the Tower. Yeah, that's that coming in with you. There's like this, the Emperor. Ooh, Nine of Pentacles. The Emperor. And then clarifying this Ace of Pentacles, please. The King of Swords. Dude. Violent deck, you have the Four of Pentacles. I don't know if you can see that out well. I'm not sure. Can you see the top cards? Probably not, but I'll pull them out for you if we talk about them. How about that? Okay, so yeah, I think that's like kind of... this is the space right here of anxiety going on a little bit. So what is going on in this connection? It feels like when the masculine energy comes in and provides abundance, it's like, or comes in with a certain, it's like this King of Pentacles is less like operating from a space of emotion. In fact, the masculine energy is not bringing in a whole lot of emotion into this space at this point. They're operating from very stable ground, and they got a lot going on because there's they're in their mind, they're in their head a bit. They're focused on their basically their stability in terms of like monetary things, or they could be focused on their work or focused on things that they need to get done in order to find themselves into a balanced state. So they even could be kind of going within themselves because this is something that they really need to be working on in order to find themselves in a grounded space. This also is a teetering between your emotions as well. So there's kind of dualities existing in this space right here. There is sort of a moment, actually, let's clarify this Tower. Clarify the Tower. Oh, interesting. You know, group one, I think that this could be something that you're both experiencing, where you're both looking at this connection and thinking that that both is like too good to be true and not trusting it. And I feel like it maybe has something to do with having experienced things in the past that basically validated that when things go a certain way, they're bound to kind of fall apart. And so you could have a history of that, or have a just a culmination of experiences that say when something feels too good to be true, it is, or when something is going right, it's gonna go wrong. And it's like basically slapping Murphy's Law into the situation without anything that really solidifies that. So I kind of feel like it is your person, and perhaps you as well, looking at this and really contemplating on whether or not this is real, or if this is something that they can trust. It's like there's some part of it that either you or they feels like there could potentially be some manipulation. And I actually kind of feel as though, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so for some of you, I feel like it's they who are in that line of, they are kind of, they're just waiting essentially for you to come out and be the opposite of what they have sort of fantasized at you as, or have this belief that you are in sort of terms of like being perfect. Within your channeled message, just going back to that, this person is literally like talking through and looking fine. I'm so into you, darling. If you only knew, you're kind, selfless, caring, a great listener, patient, present, comforting, and sexy as hell. So I really do feel like, I don't feel like it's one-sided though. I feel like this could be both sides. So what's really going on here is this belief that this situation, that at any moment the rug is going to be pulled out from under us. And so I really do feel like maybe some feelings came into this pretty quickly. It's like you might have been operating in a way that just was consistently very comforting to this person, or very just giving them support or space, or some kind of emotions, or just being very abundant and kind and compassionate towards them. And I think that this King of Pentacles was like, okay, well, that's a lot to think about. So it's almost like you're in your head, doubting yourself, thinking that you're maybe not good enough in this space. And ironically, they're in their head thinking that you're too good, that there's something that they're not seeing, or that there is, like at any moment, they're gonna find out that you're just manipulating them, essentially. So it's almost like they think that you're running a game. Ironically, I do feel like that's like the flip space for a lot of people, where a lot of people are in the other, are looking at it the other way around and thinking that the masculine is playing a game. But in this space, it's almost like the masculine is thinking that that's what's going on with you. Ultimately, this, I would say though, I don't think that you're out of contact. I don't think this is a no contact situation. I think that you have been very supportive of this person, and they've been really, they've been the one leading. So I would say that if you're not in a space where the masculine is very clearly leading, this is not your reading. And I mean that. So don't try to twist it some other way. That is that. Period. Okay? So if you just heard that and you're like, that's not me, then that's not you. Go find a different reading. Because it is the masculine that is leading this space. And then when he gives into the feminine then reciprocates with her kindness, honestly, and appreciation and compassion. Now, what is going on? I really feel that you're both inside your head, but because the masculine is the one leading in this space, the masculine is he's really in a space of contemplation. He may be up inside his head thinking that there's something going on in this space that he doesn't trust, or that he is trying to build in trust, and or making some sort of tough decision surrounding this connection. So it does feel like that right now, the feminine is just really in a space of kind of like holding space and holding emotion and really offering compassion to the masculine energy, whereas the masculine is the one who's got a whole lot going on, mainly inside of his head, on like what to offer in this space, if he's going to offer anything in this space, if he's in like when you have a masculine that is in this level of decisiveness, this is a commitment zone for this person of like, do I want to continue working with this connection? Do I want to continue communication, etc.? This is like a big decision for the masculine energy in this space, is kind of going, I'm sort of the one in charge here, so I need to figure out if I want these, you know, if I want the wheel to turn or not, when you have this Wheel of Fortune as like the overarching energy here. So I do think that that's kind of what's going on here. I don't think that it's necessarily negative. I think it's more so that this is just the masculine energy really wanting to be certain of their decision making in this process. I'll actually get you as well some let's do some advice for you here, and then we'll get you some messages from your person. I'm actually going to keep this. I like this deck. I've been asked before what this deck is called, and I don't even know. I dug for a while just to find one that has like these, I don't know, hieroglyphic, is that the right word? But this is the box for it. No clue what it's called. Okay, group one, let's get you some advice on like kind of what you need to do, because I feel like what's happening here for you is that you might be used to chasing or used to being in that dynamic, but this energy has been really operating very consistently, or been, you know, in a space of offering you, you know, operating the way that you've kind of wanted a masculine to operate, and now that it's in front of you, it's like, you know, you trying to keep a grip on your bearings. Okay, for the Four of Wands coming through, that is the ultimate union energy. Screw that, we're gonna take that baby out. We're bringing it out. As like wanting to see this connection as sort of a wish fulfillment. Okay. Ooh. You have Temperance, Six of Cups. So I think, hold on, I mean, just right off the bat, it's like, be patient, only give what you're given, you know, be receptive and patient. Let the masculine kind of have space here. And then I think communication will come in a little bit more clearly on kind of what that person's been going through, a lot more quickly, actually. If you just give this person space, they'll communicate. Here's the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. I mean, that's so cut and dry for you, group two, or group one, group two. Is like, yeah, I mean, it basically is just telling you that if you are just patient, and even getting present in this thing that you have, this area that you have of self-doubt, get present with that. Get present in doing things for yourself that make you feel better about yourself, okay? Without, you know, and just kind of like leaving him in his contemplation, or her, or whatever. Masculine energy, I guess, does not have to be gender specific, but it is typically a male. Letting them kind of like work through whatever it is that they're working through, in terms of trying to, you know, give them some space is essentially the message here. They may even like the chase, honestly, so allow them to do that. Allow them to make that choice on their own, rather than sort of holding their hand out and being like, hey, you know, reminding them that you care or whatever. This actually can be very, it can almost feel pushy to the masculine energy, so just back off a little bit. And then it's like whatever is given to you, then reciprocate that. Just sort of it kind of operates in a reward based way, baby. Is like whatever he gives you, then you respond to. But we're not gonna just like reach out to them on our own if they're not communicating, or if they pull back, then you pull back with them. Remember, the masculine is leading, so if the masculine pulls back, then you pull back, because that's what the masculine is doing. So we're gonna play follow the leader in this space, okay, group one? And whatever the masculine is doing, that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna just follow their lead. And then once you do that, I think that will actually bring in some communication from the masculine, and then there will be some forward momentum. Ultimately, like, I feel like it's kind of putting you on the path and the trajectory that if this is the way, if you do this, that could actually get you closer into this Ten of Cups space and the Four of Wands outcome. So get out of your head, give them some space, and let them come to you. Okay, messages from your person. And from now, like right now, we'll just, if they're not telling you how they really feel, we'll just dive a little bit into their psyche and I will tell you. How about that? All right. Ooh, what fell out? I can't do this right now, and you're so different from everyone around me. Yeah, it's like this is a big decision for this person. There may be something kind of standing in between you. You are too nice. I don't deserve your kindness. I can't stop thinking about you. Oy, oy, oy. We'll line those up in a second. I just heard, can't stop falling in love with you. Take my hand, take my whole life too. The heat between us is intense. I feel like this is your person right here is like, I can't make you happy. I'm the man. Like, he's like, no, I can. And that is like reminiscent. This reminds me of that one part in the channel too, where he's like, what does he say? Hold on, let me go. Right here where it's like, but it does feel like it's out of my reach. No, fuck that. I can have whatever I want. It's like, this is what's going on within your person. Is they're like, this is unattainable. And they're like, no, this is mine. Like, it's like your person is like, really kind of combating themselves on something internal that they're going through, that in terms of like really wanting this connection and then feeling like there's some sort of blockage, but not really caring about the blockage, but then also caring about the blockage. It's like, I feel like the level of indecision, and I actually did see on the bottom of this deck too, before I put the cards under, was the Two of Swords. And so I do feel like there's a sense of indecision going on within the masculine energy in particular, where they're just they're just not really following their intuition or trusting themselves, but also they're being, it's like the masculine energy in this space is very grounded. They're being logical, okay? So they're looking at the whole situation before making a decision. So essentially for you, group one, just don't give them a reason to kind of be like, oh, that's a red flag, don't chase, don't double text, don't reach out, just give them their space to kind of deal with what they have to deal with. And then I think that will turn things around a little bit for you in this, or at least then you'll have clearer answers at least. And I think that the masculine will then come in and communicate with you. Okay, group one, that is all I have for you. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down below. I love engaging with y'all. I respond to every comment. If you are interested in a private reading, you can reach out to me at the Temporal Taurus at outlook.com. We can do a 30-minute or 1 hour reading in which we'll also do sort of a session coaching you through a situation that you have going on in your life. To give you a little backstory, I have I introduced myself to cognitive behavioral therapy. I have been in a toxic situation. I was an anxious attachment. I've been in a space of reactive abuse and emotional neglect. I have early childhood trauma, and that I have all kind of worked through in order to get myself into a space to communicate with y'all about connections. So I do think I have a lot of life experiences that can help anyone kind of navigating life. And if that sounds like your cup of tea, and if you'd like a session with me, do reach out again at the Temporal Taurus at outlook.com. Thank you so much. Group 2. Hello, group 2. Sorry, just getting into your energy here. Y'all, sometimes the group 2 space lately has made me feel so giddy. So giddy. I'm really enjoying the energy that is coming into the group 2 space. Really quick here. So today I have some channeled messages for your group that we'll go into here in a second. These messages, I actually sat down last night and listened to music and just journaled whatever came out into this space. So I already had an idea of what your main card was going to be. And this is sort of a revisit of a video I did yesterday, but it was kind of lackluster and I just really wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't proud of my work. And so I wanted to deliver you a much better reading and to be a little bit more mindful of how that reading and how this is delivered, because I know connections are truly the catalyst for our growth, and I want to be sure that I'm very mindful in that space. So if you chose the Four of Pentacles, this key, let's see if I'm in the right space, as well as this amethyst here, this is your reading. So we're going to go ahead and put this to the side here. The Four of Pentacles is wanting to hold on to a feeling in this space. So for some of you, I already know that this is like essentially your person's reading, but you're tapping into their energy. For others of you, this is, you're exactly where you need to be. The first thing I want to say is that your person actually came through immediately in doing this reading. So in the group 1 space, it was actually channeled first as a message to the viewer. But to this one, this is actually coming in from your person right away. They're a little bit anxious about this connection. So it says, I might sabotage this. I think you're too perfect for me. I don't think I deserve you. There's something wrong with me. I'm afraid. I don't feel like I'm being honest with you. I'm afraid you won't like me. I'm afraid you won't like me for me. This was the immediate channel. They're very anxious. So I feel like your person is dealing a little bit with their own self-doubt and not feeling like they are essentially good enough. There is a little bit of a hit though, that it's like this person really doesn't see themselves the way that you see them. It's like they have their own sort of dysphoria surrounding self. So they do have quite a bit of, like, they're battling a little bit with their self-esteem. For you, so this is a message then coming in after your person just kind of just was like, hi, I'm nervous. And so for you, it is, you're feeling quite a bit of sexual desire for this person in this moment. It's like you cannot think straight. Something about this is forbidden, which makes you want them even more. I see red when I see you. You're the only thing I'd die to lose. I forget. I think this is Broken Love is the name of the band that this lyric came from, which was the song that came in when I was channeling this. It's a bit possessive energy, but in a way that isn't on the surface. This desire is buried. So in this connection, it's like feeling, it's like a sense of ownership, but it's so ironically, this is channeled in sort of as though this reading is specifically for a masculine energy and the way that a masculine is viewing this connection. I do have a very small demographic of viewers who are masculine, but I have, obviously, like, I communicate to masculine energies in other spaces. So I have like I don't know, I'm connected in, you know, I got the, so this is essentially like a masculine seeing this. And so this person coming in here, this is the feminine energy, actually. This, like, I might sabotage, I don't know, like that's kind of really struggling a little bit in this connection is the feminine. Whereas a masculine is feeling a lot beneath the surface that they're not presenting into the, like, this is definitely not something that they're telling the feminine, because if they did, I don't think the feminine would be in this energy here. They wouldn't be feeling self-doubt. They'd feel, you know what I mean? So, like, the masculine energy is feeling very attracted to the feminine, and in a way that wants to, like, well, just, it makes them primal, right? So, so here we are continuing is, this is the message then to the masculine. Part of you feels convinced this is foolish, like it's not going to work out. I lost touch with my God and my perception too. This is a quote from a song by Nako and Medicine for the People. From you to your person. So, like, this is then your perspective. I wish you could see you the way I see you. And then the song by HELLOOOO came in, which was Won't You Lay Me Down, was the lyric that came in. Continue to channel message to you. Do whatever you feel is right. Pride could be in the way of this connection. The emotions ebb and flow like the blade of a pendulum for you. How can we feel love in such little time? Why does it feel right and wrong at the same time? This can't work. Yes, it can. I'll Wait for You by HELLOOOO. Came in for a lyric. There's a major sacrifice clouding judgment in this situation. Something for him. I've never experienced, so this is like a, then the quote comes in sort of coming from that masculine energy. I've never experienced this, and shamefully I've experienced a lot. So this could be a masculine who has actually, like, what do I want to say here? I don't want to be inconsiderate. Like, this is like a ladies' man? Is that like, it's like a fly-by-night midnight rider. Do you know what that means? Where it's like he's laid with many women. It's kind of like the, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. He's, I just got this song Man Eater, but it would be like the opposite of that. Do you know, like, oh, that song by Nelly Furtado, but it's like the masculine on the other side, like a woman eater. And something came in too on one of the songs. I just heard like blue eyes being repeated several times, so someone in this connection could have blue eyes. And then another quote from the masculine energy, or both energies, is, this was unexpected, now what? Ultimately, you are being guided to trust. This connection may be divinely guided. And at the end, it said XOXO, like hugs and kisses. So I do feel like in this connection, it's like a lot of indecisiveness from both sides, honestly. Like, people, like, in this connection, there's a lot of unknown. But ultimately, it's like, it's almost as though it's like both sides feel this connection and then are just like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know how to do this. So it's like, just really being in a space of doubt before actually having all the information. Is kind of what's going on in this connection. Okay. And again, like, this reading is really from the masculine perspective and a message to the masculine energy. It's very possible you could be tapping into this, you know, tapping into like their perspective on things and what is going on within them and the messages that are being delivered to them from the universe or God or whomever. Coffee break, hang on. So let's find out what's going on in this connection for you. Daddy, I don't know why I felt like saying that. That's weird. That was uncomfortable. Seven of Swords come out on the bottom of the deck. Okay. All right, baby, let's find out what you got going on here. Yeah, the Hanged Man, Three of Wands, You are in a contemplative state, baby. Page of Wands. Really wanting some passion in this space. It's like not wanting, it's also like having been in a space, you know, it's like you could get what you want, but you don't want to go about it a certain way. You're definitely focused though on your coin, your bag. You're focused on your stability. You're focused on your building something for yourself here. Six of Wands. Bottom of the deck, you have the Five of Cups. Next up, you have the Two of Cups. I'm going to actually put those together because I think that is your indecision going on. Ultimately, you're coming out to, here's the Emperor as well on the bottom of the deck. We're going to put the Emperor, we're going to leave the Emperor to the side. Really quick, we're going to clarify this top row with the Light Seers deck for you. Temperance and the King of Cups coming through on the bottom of the deck. I feel like that's something that you might be teetering with here, is like giving emotion into this connection, or whether you should. There's the King of Wands. You're really, it's like you're, oh god, this is so inappropriate, but the masculines in this, if they're watching this, they're gonna totally like, this is how you just speak to a man sometimes. It's like battling between your two heads. It's like thinking with both heads simultaneously. You get what I'm saying? Okay. All right, clarify this Hangman for me. Clarify the Hanged Man. I'm just gonna go whatever is on the bottom here. There. Clarify the Three of Wands. This one, let's keep it. Ooh, that's your dilemma. You might resonate into the group one space as well. Clarifying the Page of Swords. I'm actually going to take out both of these because they're both important. And train confirmation, baby, they must be really important because the trains here is like wanting to give emotion into this, but not knowing if you can trust the situation. King of Pentacles, and you have the Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Like, yeah, I do feel like you might resonate with the group one space being your person's perspective of this situation. Just saying. And I actually am going to clarify too for you, like what's going on here with that devil energy, but I'm not going to clarify with this deck. Bottom is Eight of Pentacles. Ultimately, you do want to work on this. Like, you want to put in the work here. It's just a matter of whether or not you can trust this person, I think. Let's find out if you can. Clarify that devil. I think you actually might see the feminine energy as a man-eater. As like a manipulator or someone who, but like your person is in a lot of self-doubt, so I would really argue that they're probably not that, but yeah, no, we're gonna find out. Here we are. Death. I really do feel like you are invited to see this from a different perspective a little bit. So what's going on here for the masculine energy? Like, what's going on in this connection for your side of things here? And again, like, I think you're going to resonate into the group one space. It's like the decision right here is in between walking away from this connection or giving more to it. That is the space that the masculine energy is currently in. And so the masculine energy is sort of in a space of gathering information. They're in their head quite a bit in this moment, a lot more than maybe is even being presented on the surface. And what it is and what they're trying to see into the future on is whether or not this person, whether or not this feminine energy is safe, honestly, is like safe for them to kind of move forward. Is this somebody that they can they can connect with realistically? Is this somebody that they can provide emotion to? Is this somebody that they can trust with their feelings? Someone they can trust vulnerably? The masculine energy in this connection could have been in a space of being really hurt in the past, and so they don't want to experience that again. And it's almost like they're looking at this situation, and because of the way that the feminine has operated in this space, it's like they don't trust it. It's like something is different, or the way that things are going is really different. So what's interesting is like, what's going on, however, is like every time the masculine provides something to the feminine immediately reciprocates. And that's what's going on here is like, it's almost like the masculine being in a space of like, okay, they're doing the work. They're the one sort of being in this space of communicating or just leading the overall thing. I would argue that in this connection, in this space, this is actually a little bit healthier of a space. This is a masculine who is leading this connection. So what they'll do is like they'll provide something to the feminine reciprocates. And it just is like working very copacetically that way and very comfortably that way. And in fact, the masculine energy here, I think, is really in a space of kind of like questioning, then giving more, because it's not, I don't think that the masculine energy in this connection has really been too emotional. And that's kind of like, that's the passion that's currently building in them, is like they want to bring something to the table. They want to bring something to this feminine in terms of emotion, but it's like, A, it's an uncertainty, and then B, it's like comes with this awareness that every time they provide something positive to the feminine reciprocates that. And so the masculine energy is very indecisive in this moment. Really quick, I'm just going to clarify the 6 of Wands up here. I have the Magician clarifying that. But, thank you. 8 of Wands. And the Magician. So I think that the confusion or what's going on inside of the masculine energy, and arguably also for the feminine energy, is this a very quick moving connection. Things are moving really quickly, or there's been just like some feelings that have been dredged up very unexpectedly in this connection. Because again, like part of your message, where was it in your reading? Where does it come in? This was unexpected. Now what? Is like kind of what's coming into this connection, where y'all are moving a lot quicker than perhaps anticipated, or at least like feelings are coming in a little bit quicker than anticipated. And there's some sort of just decision that needs to be made. And it really does feel like a commitment space, or like just trying to be like grounded in decision making, especially for the masculine, who does tend to be, seems to be leading in this space. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you some advice. And this advice, again, is like specifically going to the masculine energy, just so that everyone is aware and on board. We are talking to the masculine in this reading. Okay, baby. So, obviously, because here I am saying, okay, baby, I swear, me and masculine energies, I gotta stop it. That's to stop. I just feel like nobody calls you baby. You know what I mean? Like, no one calls you doll. No one calls you love. No one calls you darling. And you deserve that. It's like, man, I really do feel like the masculine energies tend to get like, man, it's like everything is like just comes down upon them and is expected of them. The Lovers here coming through on the bottom of the deck. So let's get you a message and some advice on how to handle this situation. Advice for the masculine energy, please, and gracias. All right, I love shuffling this deck, y'all. I could use this deck all the time. I love it. Okay, anyway, advice for you, baby. What's the advice here in this space? I'm going to take out the Lovers. This is too many cards, but the Lovers did pop out here. It's funny because I just mentioned the Lovers popping out. This guy wanted to pop out. Strength. Yeah, I think you are in a space of like having to have, look at all these major arcana cards. The Lovers, Strength, Judgment. You have the Two of Wands. By the way, Judgment is really like doing the right thing. So that's like the art, like that's a big pickup. It's like you want to make sure that you're making the right choice. And then there's Justice. Dude, this is a huge decision for the masculine energy. Four of Swords on the bottom, like coming out in the middle of the deck that just wanted to be a part of this. Four of Swords is a reflective state. The masculine in this position, in this connection, like look at this. This might be a little bit of a delusional moment. What's that one tarot reader? Shadow Play Tarot. You know how she's a like Delulu checkpoint. I haven't watched her stuff in a while. I don't know if she still does that, but maybe not. But like for the masculine energy, this is crazy. Like this is a major moment. This is a major decision for this energy, because over here you have the Lovers, the Strength, Judgment, and Justice. First of all, you have four major arcana coming into the top of the reading, and then in between that is a space of indecision and reflection. Or no, not even indecision. Sorry, I was reading this sort of like the Two of Swords, but like reflection and the Four of Swords. And even if it was the Two of Swords, I still feel like the Two of Swords is operating from a space of having to build trust for our intuition. So the masculine energy is really trying to develop courage to see like this connection as a fulfilling space. And then it's like, once they make that decision, then it's like about doing what's right and balancing out this space. So I do feel like the masculine in this moment really feels like the full weight is on them to kind of determine what they want to do in this situation. And ultimately like whether or not they want to move forward, to be like totally frank. But not because they don't really want to. Honestly, like a lot of this energy is really positive, but it's just like a big decision specifically for the masculine. And it typically is. Excuse me. Because I do feel like the masculine energies tend to actually have to be the ones taking on a lot more when it comes to connections, especially depending on the dynamics, on what's going on, or if there are children involved. Like those are really important things, and wanting to make sure that, first of all, that, you know, this feminine doesn't have a whole lot of drama in her life, or that she's not a whole lot of drama herself, and that she is who she says she is too, right? All right. Let's get you messages from your person to see what's kind of going on in your person's mind surrounding this connection. And again, just so we're clear, these messages are going to be coming in from the feminine energy on how they're viewing this connection. Because, all right. All right, feminine energy. Messages to their person. Here's this guy wants to come out. The passion I feel is overwhelming. I don't know how to handle this. Yeah. I can't make a decision. Why do I deserve someone like you? I feel like your person, honestly, group 2, is just so in their head. It's like they're feeling like, I think, okay, so if you're resonating into this energy and you connect with this like feeling like your reading and these messages are to you, then I would argue that the group 1 space is the messages to your person, because they're just so in line with like, it really feels like one side is in the group 1 space and one side is in the group 2 space. So you might want to check in if you're kind of trying to peek in on how your person is seeing this connection. Just saying, you know. Feminine response. What is the message? I can't express myself. I think there's some emotions that the feminine is just holding back that they're feeling. Here's, I was hurt by you and you deserve better. There could have been something that happened in this connection in which the masculine kind of, maybe masculines do tend to pull back. It's just very normal, honestly. And I think that sometimes the feminines just don't know how to handle that. When it comes to a point of like a healthy masculine, honestly, like who is like very decisive and wants to make sure that they're making the right decision, will tend to pull back for a second. That's just what they do. They need space to kind of deal with their things and make it, you know. And so sometimes feminine energies can get, if it's not communicated properly, which arguably it not always is, unfortunately, then the feminine energy can kind of get anxious in that space, or feel like, oh, this is, especially if they have any kind of anxious attachments in their past or any unhealed. I did see childhood trauma kind of just popping out of that thing, so just bringing that up for 1 second. I don't want to dredge up that, but if they have things from their past that did infiltrate their ability to be able to be grounded in moments of space, or find ways to get present in their own environment, then they can kind of get up in their head as well. And being in the head is really for the masculine energy to do. Being in that energy all like prime, or like more often, honestly, is far more you know, what the masculine is intended to do, to kind of analyze and, you know, bring logic into a situation. So when the feminine energy ends up in that space, they can be in a space of overthinking or over, you know, dwelling or overwhelm, or even self-sabotaging in some ways. So I do feel like there is some self-doubt that is existing in the feminine energy, or just feeling like they're not good enough. Which is interesting, because this really could be mirrored for you both. But anyway, that's just how it's coming through. All right, group 2. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you are interested in a private reading or a session with a private reading, you can reach out to me at thetemporaltaurus.com. Just to give you a little backstory, I went through like pretty early childhood trauma myself, and I have been in toxic relationships myself. I was an anxious attachment style. I was a chaser. And it's not always easy to not be one. What else? So I actually worked through, I learned cognitive behavioral therapy without even realizing that I was learning it. I had a psychologist tell me that they were impressed by the fact that I had basically taught myself cognitive behavioral therapy without realizing that's what I was teaching myself. So I have dissected and gone through a lot of trials and tribulations to be able to come to you and deliver messages about connections in what I would argue is a healthy way. And so if you do have situations or moments that you're going through and you would like some advice through someone who has the experience of having not just been in those experiences, but also done the work in sort of programming themselves from those experiences, then I think that, you know, perhaps it would be a good place for you to tap into purchasing a session through me. Also, another thing too that I love seeing is comments on videos. So if you have something that you would like to say about this reading, please do leave me a comment. I try to respond to all of the comments, even the ones that don't make me feel good. But right now, just being able, I have full access to responding to all your messages. So if you do want to even chat with me, even for a brief moment in the comments section, we can do that as well. Thank you again so much for being here and for your support. Group 2, enjoy the rest of your day. Hello, group 3. If you chose this bracelet here, or this sun card, or this crystal, this is your reading. I'm going to go ahead and set these things over here. Now, group 3, I want to say that this is a situation of a no contact situation. And I also think it's a space of not recognizing our individual worth and what we've accepted for ourselves in connections and through our experiences with people. So what I did last night was actually I channeled, so I listened to music and excuse me, I channeled messages to you through the music that was playing and what was coming in. Very, like in your reading, your person actually came through immediately. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because I did not have nearly as much of an issue communicating my thoughts in words as I did in the group 1 and group 2 space. So I'm going to argue that in this connection, communication is the biggest barrier that has disconnected you. And I also got a hit when I just had a break before here, that this sort of acts like a chains that bind you. That really the biggest issue in this situation is not seeing yourself in the right lighting. Okay, so coming through at the top, it said, I can lie to you, but the truth comes alive from your person. If I could tell you the truth, I'd tell you that sometimes I think everything good in me came from you. And sometimes I despise that. I notice myself responding how you would respond. And I wish I could trust you enough to tell you, but I have too much pride. God, I am so sorry. I know that you are right, but I cannot face you. Facing you includes having to face myself. And then coming through as like the message to you. You feel a bit jaded. There's an unfairness in this space. This song by Fiona Apple come in, No Love, I think is called. And she's like, I can taste your agenda. This is not about, not about love is what it's called. This is not about love because I am not in love. In fact, I cannot stop falling out. There is no trust here. I miss that stupid ache, which is another lyric from that Fiona Apple song. It's like everything you do is strategy. This is like coming from you towards your person. It's like everything you do is strategy against me when all I wanted was for you to just love me. Channeled to you from spirit. I'm sorry, this is like all over the place, and that's just how everything was coming in so quickly. Midnight Dove from Sean James came on as a message specifically to you when I was channeling this, like how you feel about this situation. And the lyrics are, so fly on and never look back from where you came. And the message is what they, as in like more than one person has done this to you. Is the amount of pain within you. I think I messed up on delivering this message. Hold on. So like it says what they cannot see is the amount of pain within you. All you've held on to in this space. I'm seeing a strong imbalance within the scales of justice. This has not been balanced. They've been greedy with your energy. And continued into the lyrics of that song, I found myself amongst the thorns and weeds. You found yourself amongst the beautiful trees. We are not the same. There is a lot of envy in this space. Envy that you make it look so easy. This is from the people that have harmed you to you. Don't you see how difficult it is to express how you really feel? I'm afraid it will go to your head, that it will make me feel even more weak. Ultimately, group 3, you are the sun and they know it. Gosh, I hope that was delivered okay for you. You can kind of like, you can go back through it and re-listen to it again. I know it was like a little bit all over the place, but that's just how the energy was. It was like, it almost operated like people that were operating from energetic, like pulling on your energy. There's energies around you that it's almost as though you are sort of a light source, or you're very well-intentioned. And so when you're well-intentioned, you can inadvertently attract energies that are the antithesis of that, who who need that energy as sort of a life source for themselves or a supply. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the energy that is existing within this space. Again, this is most likely a no contact reading in which a lot has probably gone down in this situation. Here's that song too. So fly on and never back from where you came. The sky opens up and it's calling out your name. So all you got is all that you need. Oh, you gotta listen to that song, dude. So good. So good, baby. Yeah, I also just really feel like group 3 that the message strongly in this space is that you are worth so much more than what you've been accepting for yourself. Yeah, it's like, here we go. This flexibility is you. It's like being forgiving, being flexible, being understanding, sort of like laying yourself out as a rug for other people to walk on, and really just wanting to obtain your own peace. You know, actually, truth be told came out in the reverse, and I flipped it because I normally do uprights with this, but I feel like what the issue is there have been people that have just been really dishonest with you in this space. Like, they haven't came and told you the truth. I think you are really in a space of transforming, and they are in a place of yeah, it's almost like this here belongs to you, and this down here kind of belongs to those people, where it's like there's something about, like, there's something from their own, like, sort of wounding within, like, the developmental stages that really impact this relationship. So their relationships with their parents, or their relationships that they had growing up, or just experiences that they had growing up that they are not connecting to understanding is a pattern of their behavior. And honestly, group 3, a lot of people don't know that, and a lot of people really struggle with being able to work on that. This could even be something that is that you are going through, but I would argue if you're in my collective, then you're waking up to that, because typically I either attract into like-minded people or people who need that message delivered to them. So I would argue that you're waking up to that if you have not built an awareness of this yet. However, the expectation that other people are going to wake up to that awareness is a very naive space to exist in. And so we cannot honestly put ourselves on hold so that other people can wake up to how their patterns of behavior impact others. And so these energies are really operating from woundings, and operating from a space that is actually lacking the awareness and the ability to kind of communicate with you effectively. This could be situations or people that are just really not that accountable. And also, I would argue that you being flexible and you being a lot more in a regenerative space, I feel like you probably have held the burdens within these connections and been the place of communication, or just been the one really holding all the space for other people to basically stumble all over themselves while you let them. And really kind of cushion the blow for them. Or even just allow them to communicate with you or treat you however they wanted because of your own understanding. Okay. So let's get you what's going on in this situation. I'm going to start here with this deck here, which I don't know the name of the deck. It's just craft cards. I don't know. I found it on Amazon a long time ago. I don't know. It was like some generic cards, but I really wanted the hieroglyphic or whatever this is. I just wanted them because they were pretty. I really didn't consider that later in my future that people would be asking, what's the name of that deck? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Okay. But I feel like if you search what is this kite called even? But, okay, so let's get back into, sorry, I just infiltrated your energy a little bit. Okay, what's going on in the situation for group 3, please? Hold on, are these, I've been reading uprights all day. That is actually in the reverse. Okay. Let me give you a little bit more room. You have a little bit extra cards than I would say that the other piles received, which seems to be going on in the group 3 space, because it's just, you guys have a lot going on in your connections right now. We're going to clarify this actually on the bottom row with light seers, and then I'll get into it. Ultimately, I do feel like you are in your head about having walked away from a situation, or like you understand anyway that this situation no longer serves you. And it's really like, while it does give you some anxiety, it's also like a knowing that this is going to move you forward. And it's kind of like, you know, in the Ten of Swords is like the betrayal of others. The Nine of Swords is sort of in a space of really putting ourselves in that situation and choosing to like, how do I want to explain this? Like choosing to analyze it and dwell from external pain. Okay. All right. So over here, clarifying that Ace of Pentacles is the Page of Cups. What's going on in this situation? Wow. Temperance coming in to clarify the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Clarify this Eight of Cups, please. Clarify this Eight of Cups, please. Hang on one second. I'm sorry, group 3. I'm going to just talk to you for a second. I don't know why, but my brain is like literally focused on the fact that you don't have any thing protecting your energy right now. Don't ask me, baby. And I just could not get over focusing on the fact that the incense went out before I was even in the reading. And I lit this before I started your reading. So I'm just going to do this really quick. Sorry, group 3. But that's what my focus was on and not on the reading. So I can't really, I have to be able to make sure my energy is in the right place. And for some reason, it was just really focused on the fact that there wasn't any smoke in here. I don't know. Okay, so please clarify the Eight of Cups. Thank you. Strength just flew right out. Clarify this Ace of Swords. You have the Lovers. Clarify the Nine of Swords. King of Cups. And oofta. Coming out here, I actually saw, there's a bunch of cards that flew out, but I actually saw the Queen of Wands come out. On the bottom of the deck, you have the Three of Cups. So this is more than one person infiltrating the situation. Normally, I would see the Three of Cups as a space of celebration, and then you have the Queen of Cups as well, which I think is representative of you. Now, the Three of Cups being like the overall energy for the clarifying cards means that, I think this is, for me, I think that this just means that this situation that you're in is not just one person that you've experienced this with. I think it's multiple. And I do feel like you're the one who sort of has a leg up in this situation. You're the one who has at least a higher emotional IQ in this space. So you coming in as the Queen of Cups means that you've been holding a lot of the emotional burden within these connections in particular. Okay. So you have here the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups coming out here at the beginning here. So this really is like there could be these energies around you where it's like they want to provide you some sort of emotion. They want to they do want to connect with you. So that's one thing that I will say that came through a lot in the group 3 space, honestly. Let me grab your message again. Where are we at? I know your message was a lot all over the place because it was like almost like there were other energies really like combating for your energy. So something that came in too is like is really this understanding that there's something about you that really does stand out, that really sticks out, that is something that other people grab onto and want to kind of inadvertently sort of steal your light without even really perhaps even understanding it. So it's like these energies now are in this space of disconnect with you or non-communication or really understanding that they have wronged you in some way and wanting to bring in some balance in a space, but really not knowing how. It's like they want to offer you some kind of emotion, but they're relatively emotionally stunted or emotionally immature. And so they don't know how to provide that emotion to you in really the way that you need it. And so I think that this is you've had to go then into a space of really assessing these things. Sorry, I'm probably being annoying with this paper in my hand. Where it's like over here, you know, we have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Is like this really, it's almost like these energies then ran away from the situation or then went into a space of not being able to communicate and ultimately like brought forth it's like forced you into being in a space of trusting in the divine or trusting in outside of self or being patient at least in understanding or trying to understand anyway what's going on in this situation, why these energies are really operating that way. And ultimately it's like you have had to be then in the space of walking away from that which no longer serves you in this 8 of Cups energy and the Strength card here, having the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you, having the courage to step outside of a cycle or a pattern of behavior that is detrimental to connections and for you and for others. And I do think that this was sort of, this came in sort of as like a very strong decision on your behalf that impacted the unity of this connection or connections. And place those, it was kind of like, it's weird because the dwelling here is like, unless you can come in and match me, here we are, right? Because you're in this Queen of Cups energy. Here's the King of Cups underneath the 9 of Swords. And so like your thought process had moved into the space of, unless you can come in and be a counterpart to me and match what I'm able to provide, I'm moving on into a passionate new beginning within self and trusting self. And it's like she's willing to be the Queen of Cups in this space, but only if there's a King of Cups in response to it, right? She's not willing to be the Queen of Cups for the Page of Cups, right? Because those are not like this energy is much, it's behind her in terms of emotional compatibility. And so she's in this space of like, unless you can be a King of Cups energy, I don't want it. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to, you know, be in this passionate, self-loving era in this Queen of Wands energy and being, you know, her sensual self. She could even be, honestly, like, I'm going to like just say it. She could even be in a space of like revenge body kind of thing, or getting her kind of like, you know, really putting all of that energy that she gave into these connections into herself and really building herself up in this space. And this very well could be for some of you, if you're dealing with these kind of connections, simply advice for you to move forward. But we're actually going to get into advice for you right now. I don't know, this song by Nelly Furtado keeps coming into my head like all day in these readings. It's like Man Eater. All right, so let's get you some advice on how to handle this situation. I mean, I feel like that last space kind of provided that for you. Five of Cups. I mean, honestly, I feel like that's just clear as day that you should walk away from this if it's not, you know, if it isn't reciprocal effort. Here's that Tower coming out. This is a big decision for you, or is a big decision for you. It's like you're kind of like, you're waking up to like, okay, I don't deserve this. Nine of Wands is really feeling backed into a corner, and like you're having to fight against, I'm swinging at nothing, you know. And I don't know when you're gonna make your move. What is that? Shadow Boxer by Fiona Apple. Yeah, these energies have really put you in a space of where you automatically feel like you're in a combative space when there, even when there's not conflict. It's like because of your most consistent experiences with these energies, you are already sort of operating in a guarded space without even really understanding it. I think ultimately what you are intended to really search for is is like a King of Pentacles type energy, someone who is leading and doing the work. Yeah, Four of Cups, Eight of Wands. Even still, you know, something that exists here too, Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So what's interesting here, Group 3, is I feel like this moment, like if you really do step outside of this cycle, and then it's almost like the reward for stepping outside this cycle is then being granted the type of energies that are willing to work with you, and they'll come in sort of when you least expect it, out of nowhere, and it'll be like a, you know, it's like bam, it's like quick, and then all of a sudden you have an energy within your alignment that you're working together with. But it really does take, this Tower is sort of like a, I mean, the way it's coming in, and I'm sorry to say it this way a little bit, Group 3, you're just gonna have to forgive me, but it's like, wake the fuck up. And that's just really how it's like the energy's coming in, is like you know this, but being in a sense of self-doubt and not really seeing yourself as someone who deserves better than what you've been accepting for yourself is just not true. And you do actually deserve better than that. And in this situation, I think the intention is for you to no longer move where you are holding all the burden and all the balance and all the emotional support within connections where that is not being reciprocated to you. I am, however, going to get you messages from these, from this person or these people. For some of you, I just feel like this is more than one energy. But there's something about you that really does shine bright. And unfortunately, Group 3, when you are in a space of shining bright, or there's something about you that operates differently than, say, the norm, that automatically puts you in a space of like, what's that quote? Like, people only throw stones at things that shine, right? Kind of like that. Okay, so messages from these other energies. They're not really communicative. I'm afraid to lose you. I wish I could be a different person. The heat between us is intense. For some of you could have had, like, I don't feel like that's also, like, I really don't feel like that is just about sex. It could be just, like, animosity a little bit, and, like, bitterness. There's a lot that's kind of gone down. Oofta.
You just brought the Minnesota out of me now, don't you know?
Okay. You are so different from everyone around me. Painful memories. I don't understand. Yeah, I do feel like, oh, you were right. There you go. I do feel like these energies too, it's like, you know, that could be part of the charisma here in this space too, is that because they haven't, it's because there isn't anyone like you, they could have misjudged you, misconstrued you, or saw you as something that you were not, and sort of inadvertently infiltrated or projected their own insecurities onto you, and then sort of tried dragging you down with them in the process. And I feel like in this space, you are disconnecting from that. You're like severing yourself from continuing to follow the cycle and the pattern of this behavior. It's like you're waking up to what you've been accepting and understanding like this is not healthy, this is not reciprocal, this is not equal, this is not mutual, I don't want to be in a space of anxiety, I don't want to be in a space of conflict. And something I think that you need to know, group 3, is that our homes and our connections are intended to be our safe havens. So if it doesn't feel like that, then we kind of do need to distance ourselves from that. Okay, group 3. Really quick, I do want to say that if you are interested in a private reading or a session with me, you can reach out to the Temporal Taurus at outlook.com. I'm going to begin offering sessions in unison to, and these are like coaching sessions or life, chats or whatever, that are going to exist in unison to giving you a private reading. Just to give you a little bit of a backstory, I had some extreme childhood trauma when I was very young, and I moved into having very toxic and neglectful relationships throughout my life and was in abusive relationships. I was in a reactive abuse situation, emotional abuse situation, and through my own wanting to be different or wanting to understand myself, I actually taught myself without even really knowing cognitive behavioral therapy, and I was able to reprogram and rewire many aspects of my mind and how I respond to situations and connections. And I did this. I'm almost 100% self-taught through my experiences. I actually went to a psychologist later in life, like after having already implemented that. And one of the things that he was like, he really validated me in that space, because he was like, I'm like really impressed by the fact that you did that on your own without any formal education. So I do feel like I have the merit to help others in terms of these conversations. And I've realized that if you've been here for a second, I think that what I needed to do was really build into my own confidence that I am here to talk about connections with you in a way that is not coddling toxicity, and really, really trying to invite people to make healthier choices for themselves, which will inadvertently help those around them, or at least get them into connections that are much more fulfilling for them and safe. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, please do reach out to me. Again, that is Temporal Taurus at outlook.com. Another thing, if you would love to, I love reading your comments. So if you want to chat with me there and you want to chat with me in the comment section, I respond to every comment that comes in, even the comments that I don't like. So sometimes, I mean, there are some, I will say that, I want to get out of a space of feeling like I have to defend myself too. So I don't know if I really will respond to combative messages anymore, but that's just me. Or if you are not a commenter, you can always like the video. That helps me tremendously as well. That really builds viewership. And if you're new here and you would like to stick around for more readings in the future, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for being here, group 3. Enjoy the rest of your day.